Welcome to Home Care Matters, the show where we discuss all things home care, with discussions on important age-related matters and topics. Brought to you by Enriched Life Home Care Services, the #1 rated home care provider in Michigan by Top Rated Local.
Hello, and welcome back to All Home Care Matters. If this is your first time visiting us here at the show, thank you for taking time to be with us today. We appreciate how valuable everyone's time is, and that is why we try and make each episode here at All Home Care Matters something that will hopefully matter to you. On today's show, we're going to talk about diffusing family conflict when mom and dad need care. If you have siblings, this may be something that you are familiar with. Hopefully, you have a great support system with your siblings, and this hasn't been an issue. But for many families, once mom and dad's health starts to decline, it can lead to conflict and real difficulties when siblings start needing to make decisions, and sometimes they don't all agree. All too often, it seems that while mom and dad are healthy and able to make decisions for themselves, things tend to operate smoothly. But once the children start becoming more and more needed, often this can lead to power struggles or one of the siblings feeling hurt or left out when they weren't made the decision maker, or in some cases, the power of attorney. We know of a situation where the oldest son in a family of 4 was designated the power of attorney over his parents years earlier, only to find out that the youngest sibling had convinced their parents to designate them as the power of attorney. This situation had really escalated once their parents' health began needing a significant amount of help and support. And the oldest son never forgave his parents or his youngest sibling. And it sadly never healed or resolved at the time of his father's passing. Their mother had preceded their father 4 or 5 years prior. Was the oldest son right in holding that grudge all the way through the passing of both of his parents? Or was the youngest sibling completely wrong for going behind the backs of their siblings and never letting them know what they had done until both of their parents were in such declined health that they couldn't step in and bring peace back to their family? If working in healthcare and with people teaches us anything, it's that life is very short and very fleeting. That story is one of many that we could use to highlight the turmoil that siblings and families can find themselves in if the parents' wishes are not discussed and in the open so that everybody's aware. If you have ever had the responsibility of making healthcare decisions or decisions on living arrangements for one or both of your parents, or you'd sat in on countless doctor's appointments or went back and forth daily to the hospital or nursing home so that your mother or father wouldn't be alone, or so that you could ask the questions that your mother or father can't seem to remember to ask, or maybe they're unable to ask of the doctor, then you know how emotionally, mentally, and physically draining it can be. And that's while you're still working and taking care of your family at home. Having siblings can be extremely helpful when the time comes that your parents start needing your help and support. And maybe you're fortunate that you and your siblings have a good understanding and relationship when it comes to this. However, oftentimes, more families than not have conflicts over decisions and what each of the siblings thinks is best for mom and dad. So, what can you try to do to minimize the discord and avoid these situations? The author of the book, Attitude Reconstruction, A Blueprint for Finding and Building a Better Life, Judd Bujoe, has 4 rules for communicating efficiently that he says paves the way towards finding common ground. The first rule is stick to talking about yourself. Don't point fingers and blame your siblings or others. Rule number 2, stay specific and address one topic at a time. Don't unload all of the issues you have with what you're upset about. Rule number 3, be kind, positive, and look for good solutions and good efforts. Don't try to make someone else feel bad or be braggadocious about your efforts. Remember, this is for harmony in the family and for your parents. Rule 4, talk less and listen at least half the time. There's no need to control and monopolize the conversation. Try and let everyone's voice be heard so that they feel like they have a voice. Some other good tips to remember is that most people want to help and feel needed and to be helpful. So make a list just for yourself and write down some errands or tasks that may be stressing you out or that you don't ever seem to have the time to get done. And talk with them about it. Their willingness and even eagerness to help may surprise you. There is nobody that knows your family better than you. It's your family. If you have concerns about asking or having a sibling do a certain chore or task because you're concerned about their reliability, then give them a less important task and you complete the task that is more crucial. For instance, if you have to get groceries and your mother also has a doctor's appointment that you need to take her to, instead of asking one of your siblings to take her to the appointment, ask them if they could help out by going to get the groceries for you, and you'll take your mother to her appointment. This way, you're not rushing, you don't have the grocery trip hanging over your head, and you know the grocery shopping is done. This will be an adjustment for not only your siblings, but also your parents. Now, there still will be some siblings that are going to hold grudges and be upset, but if you're taking an approach that tries to include them as much as possible and keep everyone feeling like they are involved, it will hopefully help to minimize your stress and conflicts. And it may even bring you and your siblings even closer together as you all work together to take good care of your parents. Now, we appreciate you taking the time out to be here with us today at All Home Care Matters. If you know someone that might be going through some family discord right now and they might benefit from this episode, please share it with them. All Home Care Matters is here for you and to help families as they navigate long-term care issues. Please make sure to visit us at allhomecarematters.com. There's a private, secure, fillable form there where you can give us feedback, or maybe you have show ideas and maybe you just have questions you want to have answered. Every form is read and responded to. We hope that you will join us next time on All Home Care Matters, where we discuss the keys to taking care of yourself. Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us today. We look forward to you joining us again on another episode of Home Care Matters. To learn more about the show and to connect with us, visit us at allhomecarematters.com.